really want to focus on remake. No, the Echo ban. Oh man, the respect being shown here to Nova, but then the Ashe coming in, an APAC favorite here, possibly for remake.
Surprising, very surprising. This is not within my expectations. I feel that they need some AP damage source, which got negated with the Corki being banned away. Ezreal also not an option, means that they have to settle for the Ashe, which is still very good, especially with the buffs that she received. Well, like you can play Ashe carry nowadays.
Yes, it is. Well, she was being played, you know, way back when, earlier on. She really wasn't like super carry material. She was more
arrow
you know,
bot.
An arrow bot, exactly, and also just like consistent DPS from the back, just a free hit monster. But oh man, a Xayah Braum could be really deadly here for JDG.
I was expecting a Zyra Khan, which pretty much should own the bottom lane here. JDG, what would they pick up? And that will be the Braum. And there you go, the Jax. Because again, you know, the only thing that I kind of did not anticipate with the drafting here by Nova was their priority over towards the Ashe instead of going for the Jax. Because I felt that, you know, Jax is a very good pick against the Yasuo, but I just remembered that there is no marksman yet for JDG. And again, in WRLA 2, you or every team is required to at least have one marksman in their draft. Right? Like, that solves the problem as to why they went for the Ashe instead of the Jax, because there was no way that they would go for the Jax. And so now Jax on the top side. Overall, I would say this is Nova. This is a very good draft for Nova.
Yeah, it is a really decent draft for Nova, but there are avenues for JDG to be able to take this game over, I feel. Definitely if they play correctly. They do have that Hecarim, which definitely is a huge boon. But, I mean, we have seen it lose. There are ways to counter it. And that is by keeping the lanes kind of underpowered, you know, so that the Hecarim really can't enable.
Exactly. Still though, right, like if it becomes an even game come later stages, it will all boil down as to how good Nova is in catching Faye by. We saw Zoe be maximized over and over again by the best mid laner, at least by far in the tournament in Unrun 9. Fei will also try his best to have the same level of impact here in the mid lane. So yeah, all comes down to her, right? I miss the days and where, you know, the mid lane was not Zoe focused, because I feel that Zoe is that one champion that is really hard to control.
Yeah, she is definitely one of the champions where you have to be super aware where she is. I mean, Anime 9 just showed us why she was so formidable, right? You really need to keep track of her, or just play very safe, hoping that a sleepy trouble bubble will not occur, will not find you or somewhere in your team. And Nian actually is Yasuo is a pretty, I think, okay
decent counter.
Zoe. Yeah, because of the wind wall itself.
And plus, this is the defensive Yasuo, the Grass of the Undying Yasuo. Yami had to disengage by just using that body slam and to get enough distance. Still, advantage is being maximized here by JDG. Small advantage by popping that Scrying Bloom to at least get some information. At least they would know that the Gromp was taken and that the jungler of Nova is here in the bot side.
Yeah, the info is definitely a pretty big part of the game, especially when it comes into these CI conference teams where every bit of information is parsed in real time, and they're very able to make decisions based on that.
One would say you haven't experienced the real Wild Rift if you are not at that point, you know, that you're trying to call out everything in the game. For example, cooldowns, visions, and again, where the jungler is, which is basically the most important thing. The first few minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's the most common one to think. But speaking of the jungler, Once is going to go for a dive here onto Yami. It is very successful. Barry's the one who gets that kill. The first blood going over to JDG.
Yeah, that's a very quick one. And again, maximizing the mobility of this Hecarim. A 1-0 start for JDG. Very good start overall. Let's see how they set it all up. Nope, no setup needed. This is just a brute force. Yeah.
And again, because Yami had already, you know, used some of his skills, they timed that up almost perfectly with Max just getting away at the
Hextech Ultimatum.
Very small. Oh, route. He does have the Hextech Ultimatum available, but the concussive blows. Wait, where's the concussive blows? Here's the Hextech Ultimatum finally, but why would you do it there when he was in the middle of his counter strike? And Max was not able to stun him up, and that was just very confusing, I think, for me.
It's confusing me right now, G10. It should confuse everyone, because that was the numbers advantage towards JDG, and in the end,
it doesn't even matter.
And it was a swing, right? It was a turnaround kill. Instead of it being a 1-point advantage towards JDG, it ended up as a positive for Nova. So, what a way to outplay, I guess.
Yeah,
was it an outplay?
It was. I feel like it was more of a mistake than an outplay.
Exactly. Right?
Like three other ways that kind of could have gone, especially with Max up there. So yeah, unfortunate that happened for JDG. But you know, with the Jax getting ahead in this lane, now the Camille has to be playing a little bit more passive.
Not the best start for this Camille pickup from Lemon. And for Nova, that will definitely be a win condition, because a Jax that does have the advantage, especially in the hands of Yitzhak, will be able to get a lot of more advantages for himself. And you have to remember that Jax is one of the best champions in taking down towers.
Yep. And he sounds the best in taking towers too. Here's an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Those we're gonna miss. Very close. Lemon just started stepping away from it, because Long was ready. You saw that. He was very ready to go for the dive. They may still go for the dive here onto Lemon, or they could just go for some tower plates. 2 tower plates already gone down. But
make it 3.
Yeah, make it 3. He is just one of the most proficient champions at the towers. And then look at that damage onto Lemon too.
Right. The thing here is it's an overall positive for Nova, because that also shared a lot of resources towards Long, which is primarily their carry. Right now, a couple of gold towards their carry jungler is definitely going to boost Nova's chances in winning this early game, especially knowing that in a couple of seconds there will be an objective spawning up. Rift Herald is going to get started here by JDG. Meanwhile, Nova is actually delayed in tempo. They haven't started the dragon yet.
That's true. Unfortunately, you know, they will be a little bit late in this objective trade, but I feel like there is not a lot of vision there. At least Long is able to you know, tear this dragon out really quickly. Gets the smite as well. Lemon knows that he can just hook shot out of there. So some press is being felt here on both sides, but it is just going to be a objective for objective. There's a Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Nothing really to come out of it, because that is a Braum. You don't want to jump onto him if you're the Glacial Fissure.
Yeah, I was expecting Nova to actually commit the explosive gas to put Braum in an awkward position near the tower, but Nova held back and thought, you know, there will be a better opportunity to use this explosive gas. And you know, so far it's a very even game, and I think this is the first time that we'll ever see a handshake, right? It's very rare that we're seeing, you know, objectives being rated by teams, especially at 5 minutes, because it's pretty much I would say a very noisy day early stages, right? Like we've seen double objectives in 5 minutes for multiple teams now, but for JDG and Nova, none of that, and it will just be an even trade.
Yeah, an even trade of objectives and no real risks being taken here on either side. They really do not want to risk all too much, especially in these early phases, so they will just bring Shelly up. JDG will bring Shelly up to the top lane, extend that gold lead a little bit, and a second charge.
It'll be a double slam.
Yeah. Second charge for Shelly up here. This is pretty rare.
I don't remember the last time I see I saw, you know, double slam. But Yitze trying his best to defend tower.
It's not gonna work because he will get the tower taken out, and then also out of shadows.
Oh no!
He stayed a little bit too long.
What?
Yami was not there to catch him when he fell. A little bit of a miscommunication, I feel, for Nova.
Yeah, I'm looking at, you know, the way Nova responded into that play. There was no counterplay, cross map play 0, and it's it's uncharacteristic of a CN team to just let go of that big swing without any punishment. And now Nova, after surrendering 2 towers on the top side, is facing a 2k gold lead or 2k gold gap against JDG.
Absolutely, it's something that we are not used to seeing, especially with these CN conference teams who are usually so on point with their macro. It's kind of confusing to see that that was just allowed by Nova Esports, and this is going to be an Hextech ultimatum on the long. But that might have been a little bit of a mistake by him, but it's fine because Yami was the target there, and he's able to flash away, get away with the body slam. There's a Jax though, taking that tower down in the top lane. Nian as well on the bottom side, just keeping the lanes pushed. Look at that damage already by the Jax. It's really making the split push work, I feel, on the top side, while Nian maybe facing a little bit of danger here, but since Long has appeared as well, they should be fine to just defend that tower, go back.
Yeah, good wave here. And overall, Nova is still standing strong here in the bottom lane. Barry and Max, though, after targeting towers on the top side, will be most likely taking down this tower here in the bot lane. I don't think Nian does have enough wave there, or does he?
Well, he's a Yasuo, so he can threaten the tornado. Also, he can just, wind wall in front of the tower. That just kind of stops all of the aggression on the tower. So, a great defense there being put up by Nian. That's one of the reasons why Yasuo is pretty good.
Yeah, it's the wind wall is being maximized once again by Nian, and this is not a defensive Yasuo that we saw from different Yasuo players. This is still the offensive Yasuo going for the Solaris Archblade as his primary item buy instead of the offensive Divine Thunder nowadays in competitive. This packs more punch, but when it comes to defense stats or defensive stats, it's pretty much lacking. So he has to be at least extra careful. Magnetron engine. Interesting. Okay. Wait. Alright. Okay. I see you, Nian.
I like that, Nian. Being very cheeky with it. With the Yasuo, I feel like this could actually be a decent pickup.
That's a lot of dashes. Oh, Yitze.
Yep, there is a lot of that. But Yitze will be catching that Camille out. Great catch there. Take out the top laner, takes the turret as well. JDG now a little bit on the disadvantage with the
Long
power that they have. Long trying to flash in. Watts is the one who goes onto him, though no Onslaught of Shadows used yet. The flash there from the to keep Yitze alive, and that is a great bully away from the dragon that Nova performed. As trying to get Yami to safety, has to flash out of there, and Yitze just going to leap strike out to him as Nova just forced their way into the dragon pit and take the down.
Okay, what a big swing in the favor of Nova this time, right? Like, not only they were able to break down or take down the tower here in the mid lane, they were also able to get the second dragon out the game, which basically is a threat for a dragon soul in a couple of minutes. And finally, something positive for the side of Nova. I was feeling, I would say, anxious about the way things are going for Nova, especially with what happened on the top side. But Nova, with all things considered, has basically returned the favor, and JDG is now, facing a predicament here with Nova threatening that Dragon Soul.
Yep, the Dragon Soul being threatened there is a very difficult predicament for JDG to be in, especially if they are not in a position to contest, especially if Yitze is this strong, and he is. And Long is going to be there to maybe facilitate this dive along with Nian, Yitze and Nian, because if Long is able to get a knock-up onto somebody, anybody, Lemon, it is just going to be, oh god, he was able to hook up away even through the explosive cast, because that would have been a last breath opportunity for Nian.
I agree, and now JDG not yet done once.
They still want to get
they will hold back.
But, yeah, just holding back. Nova knowing that this may not be the best place to fight, so they are just going to retreat a little bit.
It's crazy to think that happened in the snap here, G10, but again, no one is really going over aggressive. They know what is at stake, and it's about the perfect possible play altogether. Yami and company with Barry still re-hitting here. G10 Windwall going to be propped up by Nian.
Yeah, and that's one of the ways to just make sure that you're not giving JDG anything too big, anything too significant in terms of damage out to the turret, even though, you know, they have kind of the man advantage there. So they really make this Yasuo pick work.
Exactly,
the utility of the wind wall.
Also has a Immortal Shield bow. And again, the only curious thing I do have is the Magnetron engine, which basically allows you to dash onto minions, monsters, or allies. So, you know, I want to see it in full effect. You know, I want to learn from Ian, how is his Yasuo making use of this Magnetron engine?
Yeah, because it's
not often.
It's not something that is it's not something that's usually picked up here. But if you want to make plays, if you want to maybe extend the range of your Steel Tempest,
isn't that a Proto Belt thing?
It could be a Proto Belt thing.
Exactly, right? Like,
kind of a Proto Belt thing, and I feel like Proto Belt is a safer fight.
Exactly. Is this a misbuy? that was the thing.
No. Trust in the process. Trust in the process.
Okay.
Trust in Ian. Okay. He's got a plan.
He's got
I feel like this enchant. Yeah, I feel like he's got a plan for this enchant,
exactly.
and we're going to be seeing it later on as we get.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see it in action too.
All right. Action continues here. 14 minutes, and again, no one is really in the lead right now. Although JDG is really scrambling in trying to take down this tower here in the mid lane, which prevents them to have access on towards the jungle of Nova Esports. No way to plant some vision ahead of a potential dragon fight, which is at the advantage of Nova. We look into the items here. 2 items already completed onto the Yasuo. The Ashe also does have a lot of damage with the Solari Charge Blade, and of course the Bloodthirster being there for her. Meanwhile, Faye by lots of books.
Yep. Why a lot of books for a lot of stuff for Faye.
Oh, arrow!
Oh, he's got a crystal
QSS.
arrow. Great onto Barry, but QSS immediately. But they are going to go Hextech Ultimatum.
Stasis.
Great stasis there, but will they be able to save him? Yes, they will, especially with that explosive cast being committed there. But now that does mean that this Drake could be free for JDG. They do not want to give this soul over to Nova Esports if they can help it, but these are going to be coming in from the backside. Lemon spots him out though. And once he's just waiting for that smite. Nobody is really trying to damage the Drake to that smite.
Oh no, Remake got hit.
Just trying to fight here. Remake did get hit, but Max is in the midst of it all. Great last breath onto 2 there. But unfortunately, no kills. Max is finally down. Who got it? It's will Nova. Be going to Nova, who get the soul, and once is trapped inside the pit. Yinse is going to be getting out of it though. As a Remake, gets another China Crystal Arrow. Sleepy Trouble. Who's gonna body block for it? Oh, no body block. Just the paddles are the raw damage there. But the Saya will be taken down, and Nian was in the right place at the right time to punish that. Zoe. Nova Esports get the advantage.
And that's a massive advantage here, Cheetah. Let's look into that team fight once again. That's a 50-50. And everyone was drawing their swords, just waiting for the perfect moment. This was the last breath connecting onto 2. And once the support went down, it comes down to being able to combine your smite with the execute damage coming in. And Long is still one of the better junglers when it comes to 50-50s. The action continues with Feibai still trying to go for the chase, but you look at Itze. His veteran knowledge on what to do at any given scenario allowed him to go for the flank with Nian there to clean up. That's a massive advantage to Nova Esports.
Yep, that soul is going to be really good. Oh, Enchanted Crystal. That's a little bit of anti-synergy there. Unfortunately, Yami was not able to aim the explosive cast well enough to isolate one player from JDG. So Lemon's going to be remaining unpicked here. Still, Nova Esports, even though they do have that soul, still have to be very careful with JDG sieging up.
Exactly. They will finally be able to take down the tower in the mid lane, which was pretty much a big bane towards the attempts of JDG to invade the jungle of Nova. But knowing that as their small prize, Nova is still pretty much ahead, right? Like they do have a small goal lead, but more importantly, having that ISO is pretty much the reason why I'm favoring them down the down the stretch. The longer this game goes, their lineup will have enough advantage in scaling to really upend JDG.
Yeah, and JDG, they have to make a play very soon. They have to kind of utilize that Zoe, the Sleepy Trouble Bubbles, to scout things out, but they have zero vision here of the Baron. Nova just going to burn it down, take it for free with all 5 members. Very, very easy.
Wow.
JDG just completely unaware of that.
Yeah, it's they had no information, and now JDG is trying to desperately force a Elder, but Nova does know, and they will be here to contest.
And there's a Chad Crystal Arrow onto Max
Bye
trying to get an assassination.
Oh, Yitzhak is down.
Onto Yitzhak, but Yitzhak is going to get Hextech ultimatum. He's knocked down. He flashes and he uses the counter strike to get away, but that will be once already gone. That's a jungler for JDG, and Long is still alive, so they will have to focus on this Elder Drake. Get the smite. They will get the smite and the Elder Drake, and then the fight. They get 2 already. Fade by Max have to run, so does Barry, as Nova Esports get a definitive lead in this matchup.
It was so close until it was in Nova with the advantage of the double major buffs. Will go for the push here in the mid lane. They don't have enough HP though, so they still have to be extra careful. They're going for the 1-3-1 split push right away, and will most likely take down more towers and more gold advantage for themselves. Inhibitor tower here in the mid lane is now finally open.
Yep, the 1-3-1 is doing wonders for Nova Esports, and they are, oh god, enchanted crystal arrow into just Long's damage. Evaporated that player from JDG, and now all of the inhibitor turrets are down. They are onto that Nexus. 4 versus 5, cut it, but it won't be able to because the Nexus just goes down, focus down. Nova Esports win game number 1.
No need to reset, right? Like no need to buy more items for themselves. Nova Esports recognize that they are the advantage